You have got to be kidding me. It took just one game for Kristaps Porzingis as a Golden State Warrior to already see the nonsense creep back up. He was ruled out for Sunday's game against the Denver Nuggets, and he's going to miss more time. We're going to break down that terrible news of today's edition of Warriors Today by Chat Sports, but I got to tell you guys first, we are so close to our next milestone of 103,000 subscribers. I can't believe it every time I say that six-figure number. Thank you guys so much for all the support you've shown on the channel. We cover your Warriors for free every single day. So if you're new here and you want free Warriors content on your YouTube feed, go down below, hit that subscribe button. Need 52 more members of Dub Nation to hit 103K. All right, so Slater came in with it. Kristaps Porzingis did not make the trip to New Orleans with the Golden State Warriors. It's a quick two-gamer with a back-to-back in Memphis, so naturally you probably wouldn't expect Kristaps Porzingis to play in a back-to-back either, but him not making the trip is especially significant. This would indicate Porzingis, out with illness yesterday, is expected to miss at least the next two games, but Draymond Green, he did make the trip. Thank God. I mean, that's a whole other story. We're not even going to get into the Draymond Green nonsense on the court that he's been putting up as of late. This comes after Kristaps Porzingis was ruled out on Sunday with an illness. Steve Kerr said he woke up feeling really sick and couldn't even make it to the arena. Here's what Kerr said pregame to reporters. I haven't talked to him. Just got a text this morning that he was sick and at the hotel, and he's not even going to come over here. He's pretty sick. So, if you guys did not know, Kristaps Porzingis has an illness thing that he's dealing with long-term called POTS. Now, I don't have it in front of me to say it, but it's an autoimmune disease, and it's something that stays with him forever. This is something that's been affecting his professional career since last season with the Celtics, and you saw when he was out there on the floor with them in the postseason dealing with this, he just was not the same player. He couldn't get up and down, like he was fatigued, like he just was a net negative overall on the basketball court. So trying to play with it didn't work, but now he just misses time with illness. And he's missed time with Achilles tendonitis this season. You can never get him healthy at the end of the day. Whether it is an ailment or an actual physical injury, he just can't stay on the basketball court. And this specific illness that he's got, POTS, it stays with him forever. So this is going to be something he deals with for the rest of his professional career. Missing games because he gets sick. Immune system seems to be compromised right now for Kristaps Porzingis, and it doesn't bode well for the Golden State Warriors on the court. Look, here's the take for it all. I want Steve Kerr and everybody who puts out messaging surrounding the trade for Kristaps Porzingis to just give it up. Give up the fantasy story. Give up the fairy tale that this trade was about acquiring as talented of a big as we've ever seen with the Golden State Warriors. No, that's not what this trade was about. This trade of acquiring Kristaps Porzingis for Jonathan Kuminga was to salary dump Jonathan Kuminga and send him to the Eastern Conference. It did not matter what player returned back for Golden State. Sure, they have had interest in Kristaps Porzingis in the past, but the reason that they were able to get him this time around was because nobody wanted him and nobody wanted Kuminga. It was the trade of nobody wanting either player, and who knows how much either one is even going to play for their respective franchises at this point. It sucks, man, because, it has nothing to do with Porzingis' talent. He actually is good, and when he's out there on the floor, he is good. Look at his debut. It was solid. It was only 17 minutes, 12 points, rebound, and assist. I believe he had a block or two in there as well. 5 for 9 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. It was efficient. It was nice. He didn't try to do too much. He showcased the floor spacing ability and the rim protection that he was brought in to provide if healthy, but he can't stay healthy. He literally said after the game, he wants to see more minutes. He wants a bigger responsibility, bigger uptick in his involvement in this rotation. But then he gets sick. And I'm not going to sit here and act like this is a one-off or it's the last time it's going to happen. This sucks. He's going to miss at least the next 2 games. We'll see if he misses any more. Other than that, he's only played in 18 out of like 56, maybe 59 available games from this season. It's embarrassing. It's another indictment on the front office. And then we saw Anthony Slater report, funny enough, that the Hawks have upgraded Jonathan Kuminga to questionable tomorrow night against the Wizards. The expectation is he will make his Atlanta debut. I'll be watching. I will be watching. Not necessarily a guy who I see off the rip on paper as a great fit on that Atlanta Hawks team. So maybe not all the way to the fault of Jonathan Kuminga, but I'm excited to see him playing in an environment that doesn't revolve around Steph and doesn't revolve around off-ball movement. We'll see him putting his money where his mouth is in terms of, I'm the guy. I could be a future all-star. I need the ball. We'll see how much that goes down with the Atlanta Hawks. But overall, the whole saga of not trading Jonathan Kuminga and then finally dealing him away for Kristaps Porzingis, I think we're one game in and we can see that it's an absolute disaster. How big of a disaster was it? Get creative. I want to ask you guys, how big of a disaster do you think the Jonathan Kuminga saga was front to back? From them not being able to come to terms in a long-term extension to them not trading him away for assets and then them trading him away for absolutely nothing at the 2026 NBA trade deadline. How big of a disaster was it? Scale it for me down in the comment section, 1 to 100. All right, let's get to this quick Steph injury update here because, again, last time we talked, they said they would reevaluate Steph in a week, but he did come out over the weekend and say a couple of things that made me a little bit nervous, man. He said the goal is to be healthy come playoff time. Oh, my God. What do you mean the goal is to be healthy come playoff time? You're not going to be healthy in the next month? Whatever it is, we kind of know where we're slotted in the standings right now. A lot has happened this year, so we just want to get in this playoff series and have a chance. Okay, that part is correct. That part he's talking about is true. The Warriors are the 8th seed as it currently stands, and they are currently 8 games above the number 11 Grizzlies. It really feels like the top 10 seeds are already worked out for the most part. I think the Clippers, who are in 10th right now, are like 5 games above the Grizzlies there from the 11, and they traded Jaren Jackson Jr. away. Like, they don't have a lot of talent on that roster anymore. I don't expect any of the other bottom feeders of the West to make a big time impact. There's only 25 or so games left, and a lot of those teams are already 10 games, 15 games back of the play-in. No, not of the number 1 seed, of the play-in. So it does feel like the top 10 seeds in the West are solidified in terms of the teams that will be involved. Where they end up when it's all said and done is to be determined over the next 25 games or so. But Steph understands that, yeah, they're pretty much locked into the play-in. I would love if they were a 7 or the 8 seed. Be fantastic, so they don't have to play one game and then get into the first round of the NBA playoffs. But whatever it ends up being, if it's do or die hoops, I'll take 30 over everybody. Now, coming up next, we got to talk about who actually is playing for the Golden State Warriors because we talk too much about people who aren't playing on the channel. So they got a big time win on Sunday. We got to cherish that. We got to champion them for a moment on the back half of today's show. We'll do that in just a second. First, though, I got to tell you guys about our sponsor, as this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. Shoot your shot on Prize Picks and get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. That's right. Prize Picks is now giving you $50 in lineups when you sign up and play your first $5. Prize Picks makes every dunk, every dime, and every board that much more exciting. So don't miss this chance to get started on America's #1 app for sports picks at Prize Picks, where all you guys got to do is pick 2 to 6 players and just pick more or less on their projected stats. And take it from me, I've been a customer longer than they've even been a sponsor here at Chat Sports. I actually play this all the time. Trust me, I've been playing it since the app, colors. I've been playing it since it was orange. It's purple now. I've been playing it since it was orange, way back in the day. But all you guys got to do, 2 to 6 players, more or less than their projected stats, basketball, hockey, all that good stuff. They even have golf on there too. Football season is over, but baseball is creeping up. You can mix and match all these different sports, and you can take advantage of all the fun features that they have on Prize Picks, like early payouts. So if your lineup gets off to a hot start, you can cash out them for winnings before the games even finish. They also provide injury reboots. So if a player gets hurt in the first half of a game and doesn't return, you will see that Prize Picks square rebooted. So take advantage of all of the deals they offer, like max payouts and whatnot, and stacks. If you want to take multiple stat projections from the same player and put in the same lineup, you can do so. Download the app today and use the code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. What the hell is this? The Warriors won by 11 against the Denver Nuggets. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was watching the spread kind of move, especially when Golden State ruled out Kristaps Porzingis. Didn't move. Golden State ruled out Draymond Green as a late scratch. Line didn't even move late. The people out west knew the Warriors were coming to play on Sunday, man. 128-117, and it was on the heels of an epic, maybe all-time, Brandon Podziemski performance. 18, 15, and 9 for the kid. Keep in mind, he had 3 points heading into the fourth quarter. He had 7 rebounds heading into the fourth quarter. 15 points and 8 boards in the final 12 minutes of the game. It's good. It's seriously, it's as good as I've ever seen Brandon Podziemski. He looked cool, calm, collected. He wasn't trying to force too much. He wasn't trying to ball fake his way out of every situation. The guy was really, really good. I'm going to give him his props in that regard. Here's what he had to say on the performance. He said, everything feels slow motion, kind of. I think those last 2 threes that I shot, nasty, by the way, everything felt so slow. The goal is to always try to find that. The great players do that. That's what it really felt like. He also spoke about the advice given to him from Wardell earlier before this game, talking about decisiveness and just not trying to, pump fake your way out of every situation. Go out there and just decide what you want to do, be assertive, and good things will come your way. Shots will fall a little bit easier, and you will get into a better rhythm day in and day out. He caught the attention of another veteran on this roster as well. Al Horford had this to say about Pods and his performance. Man, he was very assertive in the fourth quarter, made some really tough shots. I think his assertiveness, that's the biggest thing that I take away from him. A lot of times for a guy like him, when you come in as a guard and there's so many different roles that you're being asked to play and do, people don't realize that game to game, he has to shift the way that he's thinking, the things that he's doing. Tonight, he was very clear-minded, especially in the fourth. Shout out to Pods. Not going to sit here and say it's going to happen every single game. It's not. But he was really, really good, man. And I look forward to seeing him progress here with Steph out because they're going to need him to in order to win games. Al Horford, speaking to him, he had a monster day as well. I mean, Jokic wasn't even respecting this guy. 22 points, 7 assists, only had 1 rebound. It was kind of weird. But he did 5 stocks as well. Ridiculous. 8 of 11 for the field, 6 of 7 from three-point range. Jokic just wasn't respecting the man. Yeah, Al Horford can shoot threes. Are you new here, Nicola? He's been doing it against you for years now. It's awesome to see Al Horford play super comfortable in this Warriors offense. It really took a while for him to look like the Al Horford that he's looked like for the past couple of years with Boston, but now we're seeing that. Quick trigger, no hesitation, great down low in terms of being a deterrent at the rim. Loving what I'm seeing from Al Horford over this latest stretch. And speaking of latest stretches, Moses Moody's been on fire as of late. 23 points for this one in 35 minutes. I mean, he's been one of the more consistent players on the Golden State Warriors over the past month or so since the Jimmy Butler injury went down. 7 rebounds, 5 assists. He was doing it everywhere for Golden State against Denver. And 9 of 16 from the field, 4 from 9 from 3. Hella efficient. Moses Moody looks very confident out there. And I'm telling you guys right now, I think I've been saying it for a while too. Moses Moody is just genuinely a better basketball player than Jonathan Kuminga. In terms of the 2 guys they took in that first round back in 2021, they made the right choice on who to keep. Steve Kerr said this about Moses. Moses has been brilliant for 6 weeks. He's shooting the lights out. The confidence. He's maybe been our most consistent performer. His on-ball defense. He's top of the league against pick and roll, and he's such a great teammate. He's there for you every night, the way that he works. He's absolutely right. I'm not going to lie. In terms of being the most consistent performer, brilliant for 6 weeks. By the way, his on-ball defense to start the year was not good. Huge time uptick over the last couple of weeks. Moses Moody in his last 11 games has averaged 16 points per game on 43% from long range. So we're in the midst of it now. I've said it before. Moses Moody has these stretches of 3, 4, 5 weeks where he's playing like a otherworldly, and the next thing you know, he'll play like he's never touched a basketball before. Hopefully, we don't refer back to that nature, and we continue to see him ascend here as a 15 to 20 point per game guy for the rest of the season and into the playoffs. Now, speaking of other guys who play their tails off, shout out to D'Anthony Melton. Shout out to Guy Santos. These guys are being asked to play roles that they would never normally play at this stage in their NBA careers. I mean, Guy Santos, he's an 8th or 9th or 10th guy in this league, and he's being asked to be a starter. He's asked to be a guy who plays 35-plus minutes a night. And he's taken the challenge, and he's taken it in stride. He's played really, really solid. 17 for Santos against Denver, 20 for Melton. These are the guys who got to go out there and score on their own. Somehow, some way, they're doing it. Don't know how big of a trend it's going to become, though. Eventually, teams figure you out. That being said, before we wrap up today's show, what seed will the Warriors finish with in the Western Conference? Comment down below what you guys think. Predict it for me. Where do they seed up? Who do they match up against? Let me know. Comment down below. That will do it for today's show. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/WarriorsTV, for the latest and greatest on your dubs. We'll keep you guys tapped in with all these latest injury updates as well. See you guys next time, and as always, let's go Dubs.